LeBlanc, make sure that BDD does not get that on red side, snowball pick, and then Rumble. Again, almost permanently banned against Marin. He's been able to get solo kills on the champion where he shouldn't be. He's been able to carry games like no other. Actually, more like Smeb as well. Onto the Rumble and the Gallia, making sure that BDD does not get that, even though he has a wide champion pool.
The Afreeca coach is trying to force himself to smile. He's like, keep a smile on while you're on camera.
It's like Tom and Jerry when he's trying to go to bed or not fall asleep, puts clothespins in his eyes to force it. I'm happy.
It's like, I won't be angry after that game. I won't be angry after that game. I won't.
Well, so far the draft looks pretty standard. Just hopefully a Zac ban, but Caitlyn will remain available. So it's between Caitlyn and Zac. Don't forget that pick. Can't forget about Kate.
It's a hard decision.
I think you still ban it. BDD can play into the... Actually, no. Oh, Zac, though. Okay, you leave both
Syndra.
up.
Okay, well, you're leaving one of them up. So if you give the Zac, then you take Caitlyn.
I think you take the Zac because Zac can engage onto the Caitlyn. So at least you have an answer to do so, though. Gragas could be a viable option here as well to prevent against Zac's engage, but Cuz really loves that Kha'Zix. Are those pears? They're little oranges?
I don't really know what that is.
What fruit is that?
It's so non-distinct. It could be anything.
All right, but it is Caitlyn and Kha'Zix, so we do know that. But Afreeca, now they have to select a lot of engage to follow up onto the Caitlyn. And their second rotations, Gragas could work, but they need a lot of damage as well, not just displacement. So
Renekton again, perhaps?
I think a Jarvan would be a little bit more adequate here in this matchup. Renekton, while is a great pick for Marin, denying as much protection as possible would be useful, as Jarvan can serve as a better peel as well. I'm worried about a Tahm Kench coming out of Gorilla here, though. That's what I think can happen. They could lock it in the second rotation, or even a Braum right now. And if they do so, Afreeca would no longer have the option of targeting support, so they lock in their bot lane right away.
Trying to make this Rakan Xayah combination work.
I thought it was fine, to be honest. They actually found a way to get first blood last time around.
Talia. Oh, I don't know. Cassiopeia, perhaps?
I think Talia is a better blind here. You still have Orianna remaining on the pool, so you always have to consider that, where if you were to blind Cassia, you would have to meet Orianna. And it's a pick that has a lot of synergy with Afreeca. You have Slingshot as you're engaged with Zac, and then you can follow up with a crazy wombo. And so if you're also Orianna, she doesn't really defend herself very well against Zac, whereas at least Talia has the shove right away, which is a little bit more valuable in defending yourself than throwing out a shockwave.
Thanking for the fun games.
Hey, look at that. They're you can tell their eyes are all smiles. Who are they thanking? The game gods?
I'm not sure. Everyone involved, perhaps. Wholesome memes all around.
And it's going to be that Braum ban, so Braum, Caitlyn don't want to give that lane up, so understandably so. But will they think about Tahm Kench as well? It doesn't have a lot of synergy with Longzhu's lineup. It would simply mean that Caitlyn and Kench can somehow take over a game, but when you have Kidnap and when you have how overpowered Zac can be, it makes you wonder if Kench is really enough to deflect all-out engage from the ultimate weapon.
Oh! The Mordekaiser ban.
What? Okay, look, he's crossing. You're banning Mordekaiser. I'm rage quitting out of this lobby.
Well, you saw the Akali get banned, but that's after it got a pentakill. The Mordekaiser was cool to see. I think it was pretty solid, but deserving of a ban, I'm not sure. So Alistar coming through.
And Alistar makes a lot of sense here because not only can you protect Caitlyn very well against an all-out engage, but as long as you save your abilities for Zac coming in, you can always just get him out of the way. And so the engage from Zac can be nullified as long as Gorilla stays with the priority targets. And I think we could have foreseen this pick happening, because when you see the first 3 picks that Longzhu have, they really lack a tank and a heavy engage. And so Alistar is that perfect combination. He had some sick combos last game, and I expect him to do the exact same. And this comp from Afreeca is already extremely dangerous, as Kassadin is a great pick into everything that Longzhu have so far, and it's a fantastic laner into Talia.
That last second
Talia.
switch.
Talia. My bad. Talia.
Yeah.
I'm learning 3 languages at once. League, Korean, and programming. That's hard.
The League language. I thought you were fluent, Crumbs. Oh, we got Renekton coming through.
Yeah, that's why the Mordekaiser bans out.
And will it be Fiora?
I think in the madness that has gone so far, you gotta go with the Fiora. It was banned last time around from Afreeca, as they wanted to take that Renekton, and they banned it in the second rotation because they didn't want to deal with this matchup come the late game. It will have a great matchup into the Zac, as he can always repost it and get out of the way, but right now it's a bit tougher than it was before, as you have Kidnap and your Q to bring her back into the mix. And Kassadin is not that powerful into Fiora, as her riposte can diminish both damage abilities right at the same time, and a quick turn in earlier levels can dismantle Kassadin from 100 to 0.
Yeah, and especially against this lineup, you have to be really quick on the draw with that riposte, whether or not it's a Kassadin jumping in, a Kidnap from Spirit, stuff like this. So Khan, I mean, he's shown that he's very mechanically sound. I think he can play a pretty solid Fiora into this lineup.
But what we can expect is insane action happening on the sidelines. You got 2 split pushers, 2 junglers that can collapse from really far away, and 2 mid laners that have basically near globals, with the Weaver as well as the teleport from Kuro. And in the late game, Kassadin's going to be able to surprise Khan so often because she spams so many abilities between all her lunges and double auto attacks, and then it makes a split pushing game that much more difficult. But it looks like Longzhu have no intention of going into the late game, as we're going to see on that board a little bit later. It's an Ignite from BDD into Kassadin.
Yeah, looking for that pressure, and here's the last lineup of Longzhu. Zac will be played for the 9th time tonight.
Zac?
Yep. At least that's what my stat sheet here says.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. I thought you meant tonight. We've seen 9.
No, not
like,
tonight.
What are you?
Not tonight. But overall, on the summer season, he does come out and it's been extremely strong. But then again, the Caitlyn does go over to Longzhu. So a couple of strong picks being traded. And here we go, guys. Jumping into game number 2. I hope it's as fun as game number 1. Let's find out. Afreeca wins. But will they win the game?
Chances aren't everything. It's one of the reasons why Kassadin can be so good into these matchups like Talia is because you get away with putting more points into your force pulls. She spams so many abilities to gain control of the lane or even look for an all-in that it gives you charges, lets you not max your null sphere right away, and as such you get control of the wave and your ganks are really effective because your slow goes up.
Oh boy, the knock up here. Will they force summoners out of Cuz? There is the flash. Small trade, but definitely a nice bit of power taken away from Cuz.
Not a big opportunity cost from that one, just the ignite, and now they're going to go for a 4-man invade onto this. Wow.
Alrighty then. BDD took 3 of them.
Yeah. All right. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's like, whoa, I mean, you're really going in for it.
Well, he does hit level 2 sooner, so could be some next level strat to have some pressure into the mid lane.
Already Khan being obnoxious, level 1.
And he knows that Zac is a little bit far behind. He has some time to continue to playing aggressive, and Cuz will route back to the top side as well, but this all in from Afreeca is what we were talking about as the opportunity cost for that flash from Cuz, as there is no longer that ignite. And when you have exhaust from Gorilla, you get that summoner advantage. Look at that. 2 camps at the same time. Not many other junglers can do that.
You gotta slap them together. That is the way of the Zac. Cuz.
Oh, Cuz, no.
This is pretty close. He needs that W. He needs it. There it is. It's still, I think he should get it.
Yeah.
There it is with the Q. Just making things exciting in the jungle.
Everybody wants to see him execute. So mean.
Ooh, Khan still putting pressure. Spirit just clearing everything that he can.
Gonna look for an opportunity into the mid lane as the wave pushes back. He has to linger in here. As long as BDD doesn't completely thin out this wave, it should bounce back and overextend Kuro.
As this pushes into Marin, he'll definitely gain some more control of this lane. There's so many creeps here. Fiora can't exactly poke under turret.
It looks like mid, he simply chose to continue to push, and he's just going to be looking for those level or CS advantages. As now he sits at double Kuro CS, which I think the Ignite has really put a lot of pressure onto this matchup. Normally you'd see her go with either heal, even barrier into this matchup, and Ignite just means that you have to play so much more carefully in the early game to not fall behind, because if you do, you're in deep trouble into Kassadin. So far he's playing well, and Cuz will be playing around him as he has a control ward, and you can expect that ward to be dropped down into a side that will benefit both solo lanes. When you have Fiora, and there it is, making sure that you see, but it
well,
immediately depleted.
Nice job by Spirit to be there just in time, but okay.
We're off to a great start once again.
And BDD with a level 5 roam coming bot. Tushin and Kramer, they have all their summoners. Tushin running away. Can he get that knock up here? Trying to dodge it. Misses Kramer. Does BDD with the seismic shove, and they cannot find a kill.
Wait a minute. That was so disjointed. They chose to not go on the same target, and as such, opens up an opportunity for them to only blow one summoner to get out there. Fancying a dive here. Marin is not level 6. They could use Blob. They could use Blobs and have Kuro teleport to save him, so they can pull this off.
That they can, but the turret dagger goes on to Marin, and Khan will go down. First blood. Does Marin live? No, is the answer. Marin took turret aggro.
What the hell? Okay, well, I guess oh, we have to great play, map that in our heads, but they just chose to not do that one. He could have even flashed out right at the end, but we'll take another look right here. He sees the opportunity, so he's trying to surprise Khan with a stun.
They want to make sure they can land the engage from the Zac.
No, I think they had so many different opportunities to really pull that one off.
Well, we've seen some bad dives from Afreeca so far today.
So, yeah, Khan doesn't lose much because he teleports back to the wave, but it does give Marin a teleport advantage.
Yeah. Oh. Kuro did use his up and top, and so far the mid lane has not been treating him too well. He's down about 20 CS.
So here's the idea I had in mind. You go in, she riposts your thing, then you stun them, you stun the Fiora. Zac dies to turret aggro. Then you TP with the blobs, or you just TP Kassadin right away, force Fiora back, deny her the entire minute.
Those seem like two reasonable dive opportunities, 2 plays that they could have gone for, but this is funny. Khan just waving his wand around, saying, don't get near that creep.
Kuro's got to step up his last hitting game. We saw him earlier miss out on that cannon minion. Your job as Kassadin early is literally just a last hit. So 20 CS behind, even though after BDD went for that crazy level 5 gank that only ended up taking Kramer's flash, and now he's far away from completing that Rod of Aegis, or he could choose to go for that GLP, which has been a common build out of some Kassadins, although it does put the emphasis on some mid-game power that he has to make work.
Well, we've only had a couple of kills so far. Taking another look down at bot lane, it looks like Prey and Gorilla are in the lead there, just pushing it in consistently with the Caitlyn. It's the name of the game down here.
Caitlyn, she still has a bit of a CS lead right now, 13 up onto Kramer, which is significant. And now that Khan can easily make his way in the 1v1 top side, then Longzhu have no issues with going with a crazy play bot side here.
Level 7, and Gorilla, he's not 6 yet, but we got 4 members heading down towards bot. And as I say that, Cuz doesn't commit, BDD doesn't use the wall, and Cuz even commits to ulting in. Doesn't get the kill onto the Kassadin, who just jumps away.
I want to see him solo the dragon, so that's what he goes for. They know they're doing blue buff. So now we're going to finally get to see what dragon will come after this, and this should be a really easy solo dragon, and the pace of the game will be, in a way, determined by what dragon comes next. As last time around, we saw these guys give up their entire lives in Barons for a 20-minute Ocean Drake.
They'll be happy to secure an easy Cloud Drake here. Waiting to see what the next one is.
Great news. It's an Ocean Drake.
They're trying to recreate the same position as last game.
And they're like, what was it that inspired them last time around? Could it have been the dragons?
Martin going for a bit of a roam as Spirit is nearby too. BDD playing very way off to the right side.
So taking full advantage of the knowledge he has so far, knowing that there's no chance they were in the red quadrant of their jungle, so really hugging that side means that Afreeca dodge out.
Oh boy, look at this, the charm, and try for the knock up onto BDD, forced to flash the wall as Kassadin was in hot pursuit.
That opens up Spirit to go for a gank onto the mid lane. This does offer some breathing room onto Kuro.
Okay, going for the knock up here onto Cuz. Trying to pull him back, and that he does, but Kuro not near enough. You can see the collapse by even Gorilla into the mid lane, who is now level 6.
All right, so Kuro's facing. He'll have some AP once he clears out this wave. Doesn't want to miss out on that cannon minion, even though it's a great minion to base on. Takes a little bit of extra time to clear it out, so I think it's pretty obvious he does want to go for the base on your Kassadin. You make it really obvious that you want to leave that lane as soon as you utilize your Rift Walk to gain minions.
We've seen some trading back and forth between these two guys, but hasn't amounted to much just yet. Both these guys even on CS.
Okay, so he is going to go for that Roa, which I like better than the GLP because this early game isn't going that excitingly for any of these teams. Making sure that he has the Roa will secure a stronger late game, and late game is what Afreeca is going to need in this game if they are to win this one and take us against 3.
Never-ending push in bot lane, and you can see the CS gap is beginning to really widen, not just in mid, but also in bot. 21 CS ahead now is the Caitlyn, not to mention all the extra creeps that Alistar gives money over to Caitlyn with. CS that he's gotten.
They gave up Caitlyn for Zac, so now it's time to make Zac work, and mid lane is the place to do so. You've got double summoners on Kassadin and Zac. They establish a good line of vision. They should be able to kill BDD with no problem. He's been playing quite
he has
safe.
no flash either. Yeah. You know, it's the easiest thing to set up if you can land it.
He's kind of tanky with early Merc, so I like that build. But he's just being so respectful, and the vision from Afreeca is not very good in allowing Spirit to get into the mid.
He's spotted out at every turn. And BDD is not even near the mid lane right now. He's clearing this ward. But here comes Zac. And he attacks the Rift Herald.
Oh, Almost.
Okay, Marin over here. He's forced to flash onto BDD, who does take a bit of burst damage, but gets away, forces the flash out of Kuro. Now Marin's going to eat it from the Fiora, but banging those heads together and the kidnap. He's going to get that extra kill onto Cuz, and now Khan desperately trying to get away. Does feed the double kill to Kuro.
And there it goes. It's that early game power. You've got Renekton and Zac. Their base values are huge. And then Kassadin, who's so strong right now. He just completed his roar and just found himself 5 stacks on that Dark Seal. 2 kills going his way. They make great use of their abilities at the time. And this is the snowball that Afreeca was looking for. It came at the cost of Longzhu looking for something fancy. It was BDD clearing that control ward, getting out of mid lane without summoners. We'll take another look right here. He starts that dragon, but Herald, but Marin's already here, and he has no problem tanking out early on, and the Merc treads keep him alive, but he just does so much burst in combination with Marin. And here's just the power of Zac. The kidnap away from Kuro, buying him time to get those cooldowns back. And now this is the Kassadin that is a huge threat.
Yeah, and it was all for that one control ward that started it off. I mean, I feel like BDD didn't respect the rotation in. And okay, they're going to go onto this. Oh, Gorilla coming from bot lane, trying to make this a reality, but Kuro on the Kassadin survives and will keep those stacks.
And there is one reason why he lives, and it's called Ninja Tabis. That's what he's gone as his build. Against Caitlyn, it's really powerful. Then you're also against Fiora, who will be autoing you like crazy. So he finds a way to get some great itemization and survives a gank that blows a summoner out of Gorilla.
Yeah, they really wanted to make sure they could try to take those stacks off or just even get a kill onto this Kassadin before he truly takes off in a way they can't handle. But Afreeca in a really nice spot after surviving that play.
Oh, and that Kassadin is going to be a nightmare for Prey to deal with when you combine it with Zac as well. If Tucson finds a charm onto Caitlyn, gets followed up by the immense distance that the 3 topside champions of Afreeca, then he's just going to get deleted.
Okay, trade down here. Tucson getting extremely low. See that net, and just going to go ace in the hole to push him back even farther. And it's not looking too good for Afreeca in the bot lane, just losing trades even after getting that Essence Reaver onto Kramer. And the Prey Gorilla combo is still winning with Caitlyn this far ahead.
It's just the Caitlyn show. That's all there is to say for that lane. The Gorilla can afford to roam, burn his summoners, but Caitlyn's strength makes for more than one person in the bottom lane. Here's a TP though.
TP from behind, and uh-oh, will they do it again for this Ocean Drake? Cuz on the run, big knockup from Tucson. Prey on the run, Cuz trying to get jumped on the left side. We can't get all of this in the vision. BDD extremely low, and Kramer trying to get in there, but the Weaver's Wall is used to bring BDD to safety. Prey does recall before they can stop it. It looks like the Ocean Drake did go over to Longzhu.
Mission impossible there for Longzhu. They find a way to get the dragon and get out. Spirit flashed in to try to get a steal. He does not find it, and now the Rift Herald being used onto the mid lane. Caitlyn is going to be covering it. They do, however, get a lot of summoners, so they have some opportunities in the next upcoming battles. And mid lane turret will be going to Afreeca.
Yeah, there it is. All that gold onto the 2-0-2 Kassadin with 6 stacks.
Here's the engage. It was Spirit flashed in, and while we see the 3-man attempt onto the backline of Longzhu, in the meantime, it was Zac and Kassadin taking down Kha'Zix, but Prey with a great recall and BDD with a fantastic angle there, making sure that he doesn't get tagged by any of Marin's spells.
They make it work. The Longzhu's beloved Ocean Drake. They get it again.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Next one is an Ocean Drake again, so we should be seeing more action from Longzhu.
Thing is, we don't need crazy dragons for this series. The games are all the hype we need.
Would definitely agree. You can see the Banshee's Veil now picked up on BDD, so he's even harder to take down on this Talia. He was part of the reason they could pick up that kill onto Tucson and just went a little bit too deep. didn't have enough damage to follow up and take out BDD in the fight.
And the Afreeca has yet to implement their 1-3-1 with Kassadin in the side lanes, as well as Marin in the opposite side lane, and then Kramer and Tushin in the mid lane. They are worried about leaving the bottom lane. There's so much pressure coming out from the Caitlyn now that she has that static shift pushing relentlessly, and Kuro's fine farming into the mid lane. So it appears that they just have no qualms going into the late game with the picks that they have. And this time around, I would agree so, as Kassadin's late game is absolutely insane.
The rotation coming on in. We saw that assistance ping from the side of Afreeca. Gonna hop the wall. And he has not been seen yet. Well, looks like now he was seen. Especially that he's trying to kill that ward.
He's pretty slippery, but will not make it easy to get dove.
Yeah, so they're looking for picks. They're looking for plays with the Kassadin. Good response by Longzhu to not go too far forward and spot that out.
I think the play should be with Zach. I feel like they're not utilizing the power of the combination that they have between Zach and Kassadin. And while BDD does have some really serious magic resist this early on, they can find a way to make it work. Here's an engage onto Cuz.
He is spotted, but Cuz thinks it's only Kuro, and oh, he will be able to dodge there with that ultimate. Big knockup and charm from Tushin. Cuz trying to flash away. He's extremely low. The Ignite is ticking, but he stays alive. And now Tushin being chunked down here from BDD. Does take him out, and Spirit forced to hop away. Weaver's Wall coming in. Doesn't trap anyone as they look for more. Now Kramer on the run. And Kuro forced to hop the wall. Khan looking for more. Still on the chase for Kramer in the bot lane. Looks like that eventually did finish. They can't pick off anyone else.
So close to taking out Cuz with that Ignite. However, the heals and red buff was just too much for him. Or wasn't enough to take him down. But now Longzhu, they're perfectly fine with this pace. Now that Caitlyn got to get some free time into the bottom lane. And here's the engage again. Spirit will end up missing his elastic slingshot from a good use of Cuz's ultimate. And Tushin, while he finds a way to get the charm, there's just not enough damage right at the end. The feathers from Kramer just barely hit him, and at this point, it's already too late. They have to disengage. And take a look at Khan. He just roamed from the top side and made his way bottom. And that's one of the signature moves about Korean League of Legends. Just as soon as action happens on any part of the map, everybody else that's not there shifts movement towards that side, no matter how far they are. If they can assist in any way or have a chance of maybe even cleaning up the fight, they will do so. And one of the trademarks of teamwork over here.
Yeah, you see it all the time. It's just really important, especially if the fights last super long. If you get one, maybe two more minion waves, it's not going to be worth it compared to the amount of value you can get by coming into a team fight late and cleaning up.
Exactly, especially with the champions that they have all around. Kha'Zix, Fiora. Great cleanup picks.
Top lane still even. Almost exactly. Marin with a very slight lead. And Prey really the scary one as it goes later and later. We're only 21 minutes in, but give him a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, his Infinity Edge isn't quite ready yet, but he still has access to those headshot crits that will be the primary source of his damage at this level. But the Ocean Dragon that just spawned indicates that we're going to have some action sometime in the near future, with Kura continuing to make attempts onto the top side, but Khan is clearly looking at the mid lane quite often, as anytime that Kuro does leave that lane, he ends up retreating intelligently and using his abilities less liberally to make sure that he always is capable of defending himself if a gank were to come his way.
Spirit getting a bit tankier with the Dead Man's Plate. It's, you know, one of these items that does exactly what we were talking about before, letting you get in position and join team fights. Just get in position, in Zach's case, to start team fights. And it looks like Longzhu just going to give this one up. They've learned from the last two they fought.
No need for it, and we're going to get a real ocean breeze with this one, as the next dragon is going to be a cloud dragon. That does make Kassadin's movement a little bit faster. And he does get that regen, which he actually does benefit from it quite a bit when you're dealing with high mana, high stacks on your Rift Walk.
Yeah. You're talking about Ocean Breeze. The rainy season is coming here in Korea. Crumbs, have you experienced that yet?
Yeah, I got rained on. I had to buy an umbrella. I bought it for $1.
Was that today?
No, that was like 2 days after I got in. I got my umbrella, even though I didn't need it. But yesterday I just walked out in the rain. I didn't really care too much, even though people here completely detest the rain.
Because of the acid rain, they're really scared that they'll go bald. That's the theory, at least. But I'm talking about monsoon season, like where crazy high winds and rain every day for like 10 days in a row.
That's happening?
Yeah, that happens here, Crumbs.
Has it happened, or is it gonna happen?
It hasn't happened yet. It's coming.
Can you give me a date? Do I have to be here?
It changes it. Yes, you do. No solo casts yet. But yeah, I think it should be at the end of this month or the beginning of next one. Oh, we're already at the end of June. What am I kidding?
God.
Maybe like somewhere halfway through July. It changes every year.
You really just killed my vibe with that statement. I thought I was told it was going to rain like 4 times while I was here.
Someone forgot to tell you about monsoon season. Okay, engage on Tutushin. It just pops back. Kramer looking to poke down that turret. Gets extremely low, but can't get it just yet. Korean commentators love when the turrets barely survive.
Just living by the edge. Zach was fancying going for a dive on the wraparound, but he will get spotted, so I think they're okay with that turret being low enough, and they're not going to commit for it. It's a dangerous pre-position to get that close to Alistar Caitlyn.
It feels weird that we're almost 25 minutes into the game and both top laners are still just pushing top against each other. They're still laning. The Ocean Drakes aren't bad in that case.
They're basically playing with enough reservation that could have applied for Game 1 and Game 2. That's what this game is now.
We're getting another look here in bot. Maybe someday they can take out this turret. Although against the static Shiv Caitlyn, it's going to be a bit harder.
Those trap lines just make it so difficult to step up, because you got to remember, Alistar is unlike a lot of other CC champions, as he can actually punch you into turrets or into Caitlyn traps, and you just can't account for that kind of damage. You step up, a flash pulverize headbutt into a Caitlyn trap means that you're at least guaranteed 2 headshots with the 90 caliber net as well as the trap, so really dangerous to do that.
Okay, so they finally take out the turret as the bot lane of Longzhu just backs.
Oh, that's cute. I've never actually seen them base together like that.
Zaya and Rakan?
They're like holding each other.
Yeah, you've never seen that?
No.
I'm pretty sure we cast a game where these two were in the same game and they did that.
They fed. They're just feeding.
They weren't happily in love. Too busy dying.
Oh no, it was definitely a divorce. There's a butterfly.
Look at that butterfly.
What? What's going on?
I don't think. What? There are butterflies on the rift? It just disappeared.
You know, there was like a big moth earlier in
yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I was kind of worried that was going to actually start sprinkling on me.
What?
Yeah. You know, moth dust?
Yeah,
it's like
there's moth dust?
It makes your eyes itchy.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, it's like their defense mechanism.
Oh. Defense against humans or just anything?
No, it's just like whatever thing eats moths. Birds, I guess.
Maybe. Ducks.
Ducks? Where are you getting your intel from? I actually don't know if they eat ducks, or if ducks eat moths.
Maybe they do. I don't know. Some guy out there is a moth expert. He's going to let us know on Twitter. We always get those tweets. Okay, hold that thought. Trying to go on to Cuz. Nice slow here. Uses the second charge of his ult and gets away.
He's got plenty of magic resistance himself between those Merc Treads and what appears to be a, I'm going to guess, a Hex Drinker. Yes, that's going to be a Hex Drinker coming out of him. The Phage and Kindle Gem will be going into a Black Cleaver for him, benefiting both Kate and Fiora. And then the extra magic resistance from that Hex Drinker will allow him to survive a crazy late game Kassadin burst.
Kramer getting Alistar comboed. Alistar himself will eat the root from Kramer. It's a bit of trading back and forth. Seems Gorilla was forced to pop his ult.
Oh, here we go. This could be the beginning of the end. Renekton needs to bait Khan to go in here. There's a good ward from him to see any possible flank or gank attempt. He's not taking any bait. He's playing so cautiously here. Just really good stuff. Oh, there it is.
Okay, there it is. And does not block that with the riposte. And here's Kuro. Good luck, Khan. Okay, they've got BDD coming on in. Will save his life. Quick reaction from the side of Longzhu and BDD to save his teammate.
That's that side lane action we wanted to see, that we expected to happen from the draft. However, BDD's on point. Throws that Weaver as well. And as soon as the wall ends up being registers on the floor, you know they have to disengage. They're not going to commit further for that. Getting a flash opens them up to make that play happen once more, and if they can succeed and have a better setup around Baron, that means that that pick can lead them into a major objective, whereas the pick there would have likely not resulted in anything. And Cloud Dragon at this stage might as well be nothing.
Yeah, it'll help Kuro get around the map, I suppose, as you were talking about. Lets them get into position a little bit better, but definitely not nearly as important as some of the other ones. We got a Mountain Drake to finish.
Ooh, that one's going to be highly contested, as it benefits Afreeca a lot. They don't have any strength at killing out Baron, and if they can get their hands onto that one, ooh, Khan is in trouble maybe. Good ward. We're just looking for action, grasping at straws here.
The engage onto the Alistar won't be the beginning of this action.
Great move there from Kuro, choosing not to engage onto Prey. So many times would we have seen the Kassadin go in there, try to get some free damage, and end up getting bopped right away. But if he had a Zhonya's, which is the item that he's going for next, he will be able to look for that engage and get a fight started, which is one of the main benefits out of a late game Kassadin with a Zhonya's build.
This is a weird position for both these teams. Marn and Spirit up front. Khan always threatening from the side and goes in onto 3 members, but nice riposte to keep him up. Kuro going in for the kill. Won't be enough. Cuz looking for the collapse onto Kuro, but gets a huge knock up there. Deucin looking to end this one. Big kidnap onto Gorilla, but it's Alistar into your team. Afreeca just trying to run away from here. Ace in the hole. They're going to line up for that one, and no kill only Cuz gets taken out.
And that's that Zhonya's coming in hot from Kuro. Chewing gum, you know what's up. It's so easy to do. Cuz ends up overextending, thinking he can get that kill, but the Zhonya's is used right at the great time, survives that final Q, and now that's a Kassadin that has even more stacks on his Dark. Wait a minute, he sold the Dark Seal.
He had so many stacks, though.
Well, here we go. As soon as riposte comes out, they know they can follow through, and normally you would see a Zhonya's get used right there, but you got to give enough respect to Gorilla to use that combo as soon as the Zhonya's comes out. So wisely, he flashes first, and then the kidnap comes out, but you're not going to follow through on an ulted Kassadin without Kramer being there. And as such, disengage comes out, and a free kill is good enough for them.
Yeah, sometimes it's the little things when it comes to the highest level of League of Legends, like exactly when you use that Zhonya's, or even the late Solari from Tushin.
Basically, the rule is this: if you are in a position where you think you're in danger, pretty much like 90% of the time, it's better for you to flash first, then use your movement ability. Reminds me of earlier when it was Fnatic against Mysterious Monkeys, and it was Tristana against Thresh. Tristana using Rocket Jump first, and then Thresh gets a Flash Flake, cancel it out. Had it been Flash first into Rocket Jump, could have escaped.
Use your Flash, guys. Don't save it. So we got one more kill. I think that was the first kill we had for about 10 minutes. These guys are really trying to keep us awake in this one.
Well, from what they did in game 1, it's definitely carrying on into game 2, but the game has been so fickle. You have Prey, who you know is going to be a late game threat. Then you have Kura, who's doing the same as well, but unlike Prey, that is perfectly okay farming.
Okay, we're going to get a kidnap onto Alistair, but again, it's Alistair, so...
Yeah, they get the ult, but it's a short cooldown. And unlike Prey, who's perfectly okay farming, here's Khan. There's no Weaver's Wall to help him out.
Okay, hiding in the brush is the big alligator. Can Khan get away? The answer is no. And they finally pick up the kill they were looking for so long.
That's the danger of that last pick Fiora when you've already seen the cast.
Oh boy, the flash comes out from Cuz, but not from Prey. And Prey will eat it there from the Zac. Being a little bit too far forward, not respecting that. The flash in from Marin, they're looking for a second kill. There it is, double kill over to Kramer on the Xayah, and they're looking for that Baron.
And that's definitely going to be the Baron. There's nothing anybody can do to stop this one from going down. They're not even going to bother to move around. And this is the power of Zac. You don't have enough vision to account for every single angle that he can come from. The ward was already there, allows Marin and Kura to TP, and that's a great decision that Afreeca made early in the draft. We'll trade Zac for Caitlyn. Give us the answer to engaging onto this pick, and we'll gladly let you have a late game static hyper carry.
I like this. Afreeca, they know the death timers are high enough. They can easily go from Baron straight into another objective. You see Kuro alone in mid lane, pushes tier 2 mid, and then they just go top and take out tier 2 top. That's so much gold onto all of them. You can see that on the bottom left that they're about to spend up.
And the curse is breaking. This is the Afreeca game 1 that we're thinking, but it's actually game 2. And here's the engage. A great hit onto Prey. Takes him out immediately, and by the time the teleports come through, the fight's already won. It's a double TP, and they go so hard for Cuz because if you actually can take down the jungler, the Baron becomes unstealable, and that's what they got.
Unless you're Samsung, and you let them set it up perfectly, and you back off.
Unless you're Samsung.
Although they did have the smite in that one, so got to be fair. So with the Baron going over to Afreeca, it was getting a little bit dull for a while, but now they've got the ball rolling. And Spirit on the left side, he says, I dare you to try to defend this. I just dare you to get close.
It's the Zac threat. Fiora gets a split push on the side, so Longzhu have to stall out the wave as long as possible. If they buy time for Khan, they might be able to do something, but here he is. He's going to be dealing with Marin. Not strong enough to go for a 100-0 dive by any means.
I mean, you see Randuin's and Gargoyle Stone Plate and Chain Vest and Ninja Tabby.
Yeah.
Good luck, Fiora.
She's going to need a BT if she actually wants to threaten that.
She made a completed Maw, and I suppose that's to deal with the Zac Kassadin, but in the split push against Renekton, I feel like, as you were saying, maybe some more life steal would have been good.
So I think she's actually going for a last whisper here with that pickaxe. Makes sense as well. Not going to have that crazy amount of life steal, but it will allow her to deal more damage when a team fight is to happen, and it does suit the theme of going with a Maw of Malmortius, because if Kassadin at this stage jumps you, you're still dead anyways, as he now has a death. Here's a crazy burst.
There it is, down to half health. Maw is already popped. He might be able to kill him by himself. Good riposte into the flash, but you can't get away from this Kassadin, and he's so fed.
So nasty. So much damage coming out of that death cap Kassadin. 4-0-4 with 80% kill participation. That's why you struggle so much with split pushers when you have champions that can answer so well. And it's never going to be a fair 1v1 when you have Kassadin in the mix.
And so Afreeca, they are pushing this one in after getting that big pick. And they're taking it pretty slow. They're not looking to dive any turrets. The bottom inhibitor's still alive. They haven't rotated down there just yet. Kuro actually ate a bit of damage up in the top lane, probably from Prey. There's the engage and that dive. coming on in, and a big knockup from Gorilla onto 2 members. But look at that, the charm and the Zac knocking heads together. Longzhu just desperately trying to engage, but it's not going to work out. BDD taken down, and there's the ace, and that should be game number 2 to Afreeca.
That's all it takes. Zac, Kassadin, Rakan, so many answers to Caitlyn. Longzhu took the bait. They went with the draft, but as soon as those kills went early on to Kassadin, it was already too late. And a perfect ace is going to come out for Afreeca, and we're going to game 3.
There it is.
Actually broke the curse.
It's happened to Afreeca. They force a game 3. And we are going deep into the night to find out who's going to be the final victor of this game 3 series.
Well, it looks like Zac is still broken.
It was, I suppose it was just too scary for Longzhu to leave that Caitlyn up.
Obvious statements for 1,000, Alex. Jeopardy.
Yeah. Don't leave the Zac open.
Well, they thought they got a good trade, but they didn't account for the Kassadin pick. Had there been no Kassadin, this could have been a little bit better, but the draft from Afreeca was tailored for this specific moment, and you see how BDD has to respond. He has to flash out. Even though that slingshot was likely not to hit, if Q comes out, he's going to have to flash anyways.
Yeah, we'll probably get a look at that replay. Look at the,
hearts.
Hearts from Spirit saying, yeah, I'm a pretty good Zac player, just like everybody else who touches him.
Except Mighty Bear.
Yeah, except that guy. We haven't seen him since. No, we have. But Longzhu gonna have to go back to the drawing board. I think first point is don't let them have Zac. And again, this fight definitely started things in favor of Afreeca. Got Kuro on that Kassadin off to a fantastic start.
Getting an experience for 3 kills going his way with the Dark Seal early on, and he was struggling in lane before this, and after this happened, it was never the same. Here's another one where he's going to have a great use of his abilities there. He's going to Zhonya's the engage from Gorilla. Then Rift walks once again out with the last bit of his mana, so they were actually able to clean out the Kazakhs and disengage properly, all without Kramer. Look at the damage from Cass onto Caitlyn. Just obliterated.
You just can't get close to the Zac.
Or Rakan.
Yeah.
Or Kassadin.
Or Kassadin. Or
Renekton.
Yeah. So that was game number 2. It wasn't as Clown Fiesta-ish as game number 1, but still a pretty fun one at that. I think it came down to the draft. Guys, looks like we're going to go into the break right now. When we come back, the final game of the night, game 3.